All right, let me break this down for you the way I saw it go down on Sportcenter, because the conversation about this Raiders-Bears matchup really opened my eyes. They weren't just tossing out cliches or surface-level takes, they were digging in. And honestly, the way they framed it gave me a whole new perspective on how this game could swing. The very first thing they hit on, and they didn't waste any time, was Chicago's defensive line. Sportcenter flat out said it. This is one of the weaker fronts in football right now. And I'm sitting there thinking, thank goodness. Because if there's ever a time for the Raiders' offensive line to get right, it's against this unit. Chicago's sitting near the bottom of the league in sacks, only 5 all year, and they've been gashed against the run in every game. You could feel the analysts almost pleading, if the Raiders can't establish themselves in the trenches here, if they can't run the football against this front, then it's going to be a long, painful season. And they weren't wrong. They said it directly. This is a statement game for the Raiders coaching staff and for that O-line. And hey, before I keep breaking this down, let me just say this. If you're enjoying this kind of content and riding along with me, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. It's honestly my dream to reach 1,000 subscribers on this channel. And every single one of you who joins gets me closer to making that dream real. Then they shifted into Ashton Jeanty, and let me tell you, they were impressed. His physicality, his yards after contact, the way he forces missed tackles, it's not just flashes anymore. He's producing numbers that rank near the top of the NFL. Sportcenter pointed out how Chicago's defense is giving up over 139 yards a game on the ground, second worst in the entire league. And they hammered home the idea that this matchup screams Jeanty breakout performance. You could hear it in their tone, almost like a warning to the Bears. Don't let this kid get rolling. Because if he does, it's not just about yardage. It resets the whole balance of the Raiders' offense. And then they went deeper, connecting it all back to strategy. Stick with the run game, they said. Even if it doesn't pop off early, even if the first few drives are tough, keep pounding. Because once the Raiders commit to that physicality, once Jeanty forces Chicago to bring extra defenders into the box, suddenly the passing lanes open up. And that's where Geno Smith can start taking advantage. They even mentioned those outside zone plays, the ones where the Raiders are averaging nearly 8 yards a pop. Sportcenter said it plain. That's the blueprint. You want to unlock this offense? Stick with what works. Now, of course, they didn't ignore the other side of the ball. They went right into Max Crosby. And honestly, it felt like they were sending a direct message to him. Chicago's tackles? Vulnerable. Braxton Jones on the left side has already given up multiple sacks and a pile of pressures. And with Darnell Wright banged up, they might have to throw a rookie into the fire on the right side. Sportcenter was like, Max, this is your moment. This is the game where you dominate. And I agree, because if the Raiders' defense is going to get any kind of momentum, it starts with number 98 wrecking things off the edge. They also spent time talking about Brock Bowers, and this is where it got really interesting. Everybody knows the guy's a matchup nightmare, but Sportcenter pointed out how Chicago specifically struggles against tight ends. The numbers are ugly: 27 targets, 24 catches, and multiple touchdowns allowed to that position already. And with Michael Mayer banged up, this becomes even more important. They said even at 80%, even at 70%, Bowers needs to see 8 to 10 targets in this game. Line him up against safeties, linebackers, whoever. Chicago doesn't have an answer. That was the message. And finally, they circled back to the quarterback battle, specifically Caleb Williams. Now, this part was fascinating because the Sportcenter panel didn't just talk about talent. They dug into mentality. They said when Caleb is confident, when he's in rhythm, he looks like a star. But when you rattle him, especially on the road, he changes. They threw out the stats. 1-8 in road games, both losses this season coming away from home. His passer rating dipping drastically when he's outside Chicago. Sportcenter even compared him to Justin Herbert in that sense. All the talent in the world. But when the mental side gets shaky, it snowballs quick. And with the Raiders fan base expected to show up strong in this one, they said the environment could make all the difference. So when you add it all up, here's what they were really saying. This is a winnable game for the Raiders, but only if they seize it, run the football with Ginty, let Crosby eat off the edge, target Bowers relentlessly, and make Caleb Williams uncomfortable from the very first snap. It wasn't doom and gloom, it wasn't false hype, it was a balanced, honest breakdown. But you could feel the undertone of urgency. Sportcenter made it clear. If the Raiders don't capitalize on Chicago's weaknesses, if they can't make a statement here, then maybe the problems run deeper than anyone wants to admit. And I've got to be honest with you, hearing all that, it really hit me. Because as fans, we sit around and we hope, we argue about play calls, we question the coaches, but when you hear respected analysts on a platform like Sportcenter break it down like that, you realize the opportunity is sitting right in front of this team. And the only real question left is, are they going to grab it?